today we're going to take you on our first cruise together as a family, or together, period, where we went to Alaska.
Alaska.
20 more people to join us on the dance floor. Come on down. All right, wait, DJ.
So the cruise was fun because it was a mixture of things that the kids don't normally get to do, like dance to the music.
Or be on a cruise ship.
Right? But then it was also mixed with the things that they're going to do regardless, wherever they are.
Like play, sleep, eat, and totally be goofy. The greatest thing that happened the entire cruise ship was for both Lauren and myself.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds ridiculous. Every night we would come back from dinner and our steward would literally make these cute little towel animals.
Which I'd remembered from other cruises I'd been on.
And I had no idea that they did this.
So he hid his surprise really well, but Lauren, being 2, was like...
So what is it?
This is a payday for sleeping, and that's what I sleep with it.
Yeah, that's so cool. And who made it for you? Mr. Willie?
Yeah.
Wow.
He made it for me.
Should we tell him thank you later? That's so cool.
I said, Willie, thank you, Willie.
Just amazed.
Like the fact that someone was specially making towel animals for her, and Jonathan was like, how many animals can you make? But I didn't know, I didn't know he was being serious in that. Like, I thought he was being silly.
Truth is, they really only have to make 7. Because that's how long the cruise is.
Oh, that's true.
Unless you're on a 14-day cruise.
I think some people cruise for like...
6 months?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but those are probably like 60-year-old people, and they probably then just make the
get-
towels into Depends. Having the daily towel animals work perfectly taking our kids to the bedtime routine, which we really make an effort to keep them on the same routine as we do at home, which allows them to have a much smoother transition throughout the week.
And not be hot messes when we get home from a trip. They know what to expect in that regard every night. When we got the kids down each night, then we would silently throw open our balcony doors and go
Have
out
a
there.
party.
A very quiet party. We'd go out there and then we would watch the absolutely clear sky and water.
That just sounds weird. We just watch the absolute clear sky and water.
Well,
Come on.
yeah,
Okay,
but it's true.
hold on.
We're
I know.
weird. It's okay.
So,
Okay, so.
Sasha wanted to do this in under 15 minutes.
Welcome to our 2-hour first video.
Hello.
Second video.
Hello, McFly.
Then we started hitting the ports.
We went to Catch a Can, not Catch a Can't.
So the thing about Catch a Can is that we'd read that it was rainy, but coming from Arizona, we tried minimalist packing, so we're like, rain jacket, 18-month size.
Check!
It fits, we're good. And then we got there, it was like to here on Lauren's head.
And it doesn't prepare you for the rain
Like-
like that's coming from every single direction. So
Yeah.
we actually, the first thing we did, which was probably the most exciting, was we went into this little, it looked kind of like an outpost, but it had all sorts of touristy stuff, but we got the cutest little jacket for Lauren, and she just loved it. So we went from Catch a Can to...
The name of the port that we'll put right here. And our excursion was canceled.
And every single excursion that we had planned on this entire
The whole cruise, that's right.
was canceled.
But I think that was because we took the cruise at the very tail end of cruise season when weather was starting to get iffy. So our cruise was the last week of August into the first week of September.
Just as a note if you're going to be planning it. And here's the thing, though. While all of our excursions were canceled, I mean, we had a helicopter ride up to the Glacier where we're going to get on a dog sled and ride those on the Glacier.
It all worked out.
It was
for the
so
best.
cool because we found other amazing things that we were able to do.
Like
and the kids
whale
loved.
watching at this port. We didn't know how our 2-year-old at the time was going to like it. She loved it.
Oh my goodness.
She really did like it.
One of the things that happens when you're on an Alaskan cruise is you actually cross from one ocean into the other ocean. And now I don't know if you've seen the videos online where it looks
I
like...
saw one on Facebook.
I mean, I saw it on Facebook. I've seen it like on a YouTube video where like the two oceans meet and it looks like oil and water. And you're like, this is CGI, this is all goof nuts, like this is
real.
Totally real, totally cool, totally bizarre. You're like, how can water just be split in two?
Gorgeous.
It is.
So then our next port was this bus ride where we went through the Yukon Peninsula.
Where are we, Lauren?
That's
We're actually in Canada.
going Canada.
And what's all over your hand?
Chocolate.
Yum! And then we landed in the town of...
I'm pretty sure that we're gonna get better as we do more videos with remembering the names. Or you're gonna love us for...
This is where we made up for not doing the dog sled ride earlier.
Which was really, really kind of ridiculously fun.
For us. It was
Not so much for Lauren.
No, it was really cute. She started going, I want to stop.
I wanna stop. I wanna stop. I wanna stop. I wanna stop.
Thank God that we hadn't spent like this massive amount of money to go to a glacier to do something that our 2-year-old was like, no thanks.
Once we finished the excursion in the cute little town doing our dirt dog sled, we jumped.
That sounds so
I know.
appealing. It was really fun though. I swear it's worth it.
We jumped back on the bus and it took us to
Your personal highlight of the trip.
the most spectacular place. See, I snuck a drone on the cruise ship and brought it to every port we went to. And this is the first time I was able to actually get it to work.
I wish I had. I might have gotten footage of it, but every time we'd get to a port, he would open it, set it all up, and then like software error every port. So this time we had enough time in this city
And Wi-Fi. Oh, in this city.
where he was able to download the update and get this footage before we got on a train, and the train took us back to Skagway.
Yes. And the train was, it was like
Really
this
pretty.
old Gold Rush train on the original tracks. It took you like through mountains and around and up.
And then as they did that, they told us the whole history, so it was educational for us as well.
Yes.
So then we were back on the ship.
Poop problems.
Exactly, literally exactly. So we were in the middle of potty training.
Lauren.
Lauren, not him. He's good. He's real good.
And I don't have poop problems.
No, thank you.
Cut around this.
So no, leave him in.
Okay.
Let him get to know us. So anyway, we ended up in the infirmary, and Lauren was an absolute trooper.
What a champion.
But she hadn't pooped in literally a week. And we had no other option. So we ended up, travel tip, if you are potty training a kid, maybe pack some things that will help them poop.
Yes. So our solution ended up being a $187 suppository.
But the infirmary was fantastic.
They were superb, so
Yeah.
kind. I mean, Lauren was scared and being so brave, and the doctors
They were
and the nurse
fantastic.
were really
They
kind.
followed up. And we'd actually taken her the night before and weren't sure if we were going to do it, if it was necessary. And they were really helpful then. They gave us information and advice. So if you ever do have a health issue, ship infirmary, fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah.
And note, this is just the one little tip on your cruise ship. Make sure you check your health insurance and coverage. Because sometimes you're on international waters, sometimes you might be in the United States, like an Alaskan cruise, depending on the cruise. So really, I just highly recommend that.
Yeah, we did submit. We didn't get reimbursed, but not the end of the world. Part of the experience.
Yes.
Kids are going to be kids wherever you are.
Because they're kids.
Science. Normally on most cruises, after you're done with your ports, then you sail back and it's clear water and it's pretty.
You hit the ocean, the open seas, just to get yourself home.
Yeah, on Alaskan cruise though, on this one, totally different. This was like the highlight, one of the highlights of this cruise.
You literally, the boat, the cruise ship goes into where the glaciers are. and it just stops and it spins in 360 degrees for probably about 15 to 30 minutes, maybe an hour. So like all sides of the ship can get great pictures.
But most people are up there on the deck, like trying
jockeying
to
for
squeeze
position
in to get pictures, and we did do that for a minute or two. But us with a stroller and 2 small kids,
it was not worth it. And that's where Sasha, champion, gets the championship award. She said to me, she goes, Jonathan, I am not going on a cruise unless we're in a balcony. And I was like, a balcony? Wow. Oh, it's a balcony. You know, it's like, this is silly little me. Like, hey, you can get it for like a fraction of the price if you have an inside. Like, who cares? And she's not going to put this footage in because it's ridiculous. But here's the thing. Champion here for saying and sticking by, let's get the balcony.
Yeah, because the thing is that I'm not a crowds person, and I didn't know about the glaciers in advance, but to be able to wake up, open your balcony, and look at the amazing, just clear water is just fantastic. But when you actually have views, so if you were going on a cruise, I would say like to the Panama Canal, anywhere where there's really cool stuff to see as you travel, the balcony room, especially with 2 little kids, you can see it all. We didn't have to elbow anybody. We could watch the glaciers, take our family pictures. And
I'm a convert. 100%
Oh
convert.
yeah, balcony all the way now. But then to be able to watch like the completely glassy water as you pass once you left the glaciers, it felt like being in prehistoric times. Like, it was so cool.
One of the other top benefits of having the balcony is when we put the kids to sleep, and they were on their schedule, so they were going to bed around 5:30, 6 o'clock.
And napping.
Typically, we're stuck in the room then.
If it's a small hotel room.
And so with this, we actually could go out in the balcony, we could enjoy the views, we could sit and chat and
I've
do
watched
those
the
things.
water during their naps.
So it was perfect. That ends the cruise, and we got to Seaward, where we then all jumped on a big bus that was taking us to Anchorage.
And along the way, we stopped at a reserve. We got to see some bears.
And caribou.
And then that ended that portion of the adventure, which continues after this.
It does?
You were
We have
there.
more adventures? Where?
If you're lucky, I'll take you on them.
How about you show them where? See you on our next adventure.
Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe and hit the bell to see all of our latest urgent updates. Is that what they say? Is that what the cool kids say? Is that what the cool kids say?
I don't know this woman, but I'll marry
You
her.
married me. Thank you for watching.
And give us a thumbs up.
Bye.
See ya.